In today's episode, we're going to be answering the question, I am behind on my mortgage payments. What are my options to get current? To help us with that, we've got David Rodriguez, who's going to be talking to us about the California Mortgage Relief Program. In this episode, and you want to watch it until the end, he's going to be answering the questions, how does the Mortgage Relief Program work? Who qualifies for the Mortgage Relief Program? What does the process look like to qualify for the Mortgage Relief Program? How long does it take to get the Mortgage Relief Program? And the question everybody wants to know, where does the money come from as well, too? Welcome to the show, David. How are you?
Thank you, joseluiz. I'm doing great. How are you today?
Awesome. Good. So let's jump right into it. Like, when did this program come out and how does it work?
Yes, so this program came out in 2020, and it was based on the COVID pandemic that happened throughout the world, basically. And the state of California came up with a program to help families get caught up, not only on their mortgage payment, but also on their property taxes and their fire insurance, their homeowner's insurance bill. So this all began in 2020.
Got it. And is it still available at the present moment as of March or April 2nd, 2024?
Yes, it's still available. And they are still approving applications and issuing funds.
Got it. Okay. So how does the program work? Like, meaning like if I'm behind 500,000, will the state of California cover it? Are there limits to this? And who qualifies?
That's a good question, joseluiz. So there are limits. The maximum that the state can approve a family for is $80,000. So a couple requirements are that you must live in the property as your primary residence. It doesn't matter if it's a single family residence, a duplex, triplex, or 4 units, as long as it's your primary residence. You cannot own any other real estate. And if you're behind, they can get you caught up to $80,000. And I've had a total of 3 families get approved in the state of California. 2 in San Fernando and 1 in Palmdale. If you're familiar with the area, it's in the northern Los Angeles area.
I love it. So what happens with this money? Like, if I receive this money, like, are there any restrictions? Like, do I have to pay the money back? Could I sell the property immediately after getting the money if I wanted to? How does that process look like?
This is more of a grant. So the state is going to gift you the money. And once your mortgage company is paid and you're current, then you do not have to pay this money back. You can refinance, you can sell. There are no second liens. There are no repercussions. Also, once you're approved and the money's dispersed to your lender, you'll get caught up. If you have an impound account, your lender's probably paying your past due taxes and homeowner's insurance bill. So all of that will get paid as well. The borrower or the family doesn't touch the money directly. You do have to upload your photo ID, your mortgage statement, details of how much you're behind and past due, and provide proof of that as well from the mortgage company in the form of a mortgage statement or some type of verification of mortgage with a recent date.
Got it. From the time you get approved to the time you get your money, how much leeway? Because I know that people, when they're behind on their payment, sometimes they may be finding out on the latter stage of a foreclosure process. They may have a foreclosure in the next 20 days. How long does this approval process take? And then how long does it take to get the money?
It takes a couple of weeks to actually get approved. Luckily, everything is done online. So you can go onto their website, fill out the application, upload your documents. It shouldn't take you more than 30 or 40 minutes from the time you start the application to the time you finish, including the time you upload docs. And a couple of weeks to get approved. To disperse the money, they will disperse relatively quickly. It takes them about 10 days to disperse the money from the moment you're approved. The biggest piece is just getting your application in. And even if you've been denied once, let's say you applied last year and you were denied, you can apply multiple times so that you can find out if you're approved or qualified this time around. And another rule that was changed in January of this year is if you were previously approved for the program, you can apply again with a maximum eligibility amount of up to $80,000 to get caught up on your past due mortgage.
Got it. Okay. So basically, and then why would people get rejected from the program? I know that you talked about if they own other residences, that's not who this program is for. It's only for people that own one property. It's for owner occupied. It doesn't matter if it's a duplex, triplex, or a fourplex, you still qualify. What are other reasons that you would not qualify? Meaning, like, if I have $1 million in the bank and I'm behind on my payment, would I still qualify, or do they make you upload documents as to any bank statements that I have? What are the other things that they require, and who doesn't qualify?
One thing they do is a verification of employment. They execute a verification of
Okay.
employment so that they can find out if you actually can pay your mortgage or in reality you had some type of hardship. So if you're self-employed, you upload bank statements. I believe they ask for 3 months. And if you work for a company, they'll ask for pay stubs. If you get W-2s or 1099s, they'll ask for that information, and that'll determine if you're approved or not. So definitely, if you have maybe large savings, or if you took advantage of just putting your mortgage in a forbearance state or pausing it for a little bit just because the opportunity came up, they're going to try to look for that. So this is definitely for the homeowner who just kind of stumbled, throughout the COVID pandemic. They lost work a little bit and they're just trying to not lose their home at the end of the day, right?
Got it. So basically, if you're self-employed, they're going to ask you for bank statements. If not, they're going to ask you for pay stubs. Anything else that they would ask you during the application process? So you're going to fill out an application. What kind of questions do they ask in the application?
Some of the questions are, what's your address? How much you are behind? Do you owe money on past due taxes? Do you owe money to your fire insurance company? They ask for employment information. There's no credit check, so it doesn't matter if you have an 800 score or a 400 score. They don't check that. They do ask for a mortgage statement. And like you mentioned, bank statements for self-employed, and if not, pay stubs for someone who works for W-2.
Got it. What website can they go to apply for this program?
So they can simply Google California Mortgage Relief Fund, and they'll go ahead and the program pops up and an application link pops up. It's a program that has a lot of potential. And I say potential because there is still well over $100 million in the fund. And I think that homeowners can definitely take advantage this year, especially if they're being threatened by their mortgage company in reporting a mortgage default, a notice of default or whatnot. I want to read some stats to you, if it's okay, so that we can get a little bit of
Yeah,
an understanding of these numbers and how big the program is.
that would be awesome.
Okay, so I already mentioned that you can get caught up to $80,000, which is great. It's a large amount, so this is definitely for people who have missed a mortgage payment for over a year even. They assist in the following languages, aside from English: Spanish, Chinese, Korean, Tagalog, and Vietnamese. So you can even call in and have a virtual assistant or a third party help you fill out the application over the phone, or you can do this online. The grants that have been approved in the state of California are 33,820 grants. So they're approving all
Wow.
over the state from north to south. It doesn't matter if you're in a metropolitan city or if you're out in the boonies. If you need some help, definitely check the program out. Another thing is the total amount that's been funded is $829 million, and the program has a fund capacity of $1 billion. So, like I mentioned earlier, I think I said $100 million is what they have, more or less. Definitely upwards of $180 million or so. is what the program has capacity for. So if you need help, definitely apply. The average amount that a household asks for is about $24,000. So that's more or less what families are getting approved for. Although I've seen one case where they definitely got more than 24,000, it was around the 40 something thousand mark. So if you're behind and you don't know really what your case stands, my recommendation is just apply. And whether you get denied or not, like I said, last year, if you applied and were denied, they're definitely accepting new applications, even if you applied before. So my recommendation is go online and send an application in.
Do you know if there's any tax consequences from getting the grant? Like, meaning, do they 1099 you, and is it a taxable event whenever you receive the money?
That's a good question. There's no 1099. It's a full grant. So there's no tax penalty that you have to pay. There's no second lien. You don't have to pay this back if you refinance or sell in the future. I know a lot of down payment assistance programs have something like this. This is not that type of case. It's a full grant where once you're approved and the money's released, you are not liable for paying that money back.
Got it. Now, does this money or this grant only apply to first loans, or can it be used like if I'm behind on my second mortgage, or if I'm behind on a home equity line of credit, or let's say I'm behind on a private money loan from an individual?
It has to be for your primary residence, and I haven't had a customer or a case where someone needs to pay off a second loan, but in the application, they ask about second mortgages. So if you're in a case where your primary residence has 2 or 3 loans, go ahead and fill that information out, and my recommendation is applied. Like I said, I've never
Got it.
crossed that bridge, but there's a section of the app for that.
I love it. Now, are there any income limitations, like meaning like you make too much money even though you don't have any money in your bank account?
There is an income limit, and there's a chart that shows you what that income limit is as you're filling the application out.
Got it. That's phenomenal. Okay. Any other items that, and by the way, David, this is a great program. And I think it's phenomenal the fact that you're educated on this program and you're helping people. I came across this program maybe like 6 months ago where somebody was behind on their payment. And they basically told me that this program helped them get caught up with everything, basically. And they basically got caught up on the foreclosure completely. So it was
That's
awesome
Yeah.
to do it. So anything else that you think would be helpful as it relates to this program?
I think we covered it all, Jose Luis. Like I said, my
Yeah,
recommendation is if you're having a misfortune in life and just got a little behind, go ahead and apply. And you never know at the end of the day if you're going to get approved or not.
I love it. And where can people get a hold of you? And what is it that you do for a living, David?
I'm a mortgage broker, and we are with Los Angeles Mortgage Company. So people can search for me on Google. My name is David Rodriguez. We're with Los Angeles Mortgage Company. You can go straight to our site or look for us on Instagram. And my number's pretty public out there as well. So again, if you need to find me, my name is David Rodriguez, and I'm with Los Angeles Mortgage Company. So we help people get home loans if they're trying to buy or refinance. We're licensed in the state of California and in Texas.
I appreciate it, man. So, and I did check out his website. It looks like he does offer like traditional loans, all the traditional loans, also ADU loans. I think that you offer like hard money loans as well too, or private type of financing loans as well too. So just an array of different products. So if you've enjoyed this interview, make sure to reach out to David. For our viewers out there, I do want to say thank you so much for taking the time. David, thank you once again. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you feel that this episode will be helpful, make sure to hit the share button and share it with a friend. Thank you again, David, and thank you to our viewers. Until next time.